Tribe or nothing else, cause we at war and Naga still don't know. Nagas think everything a game all the time. We at war and Naga still don't know. I'm all about tribe up. I'm all about getting the family up, getting the numbers up, strengthening up the tribe. That's what Blackjack all about. Hey, we about to have a little conversation. Title of this show, Editing History. American Slavery. You know what I'm saying? And y'all saw the thumbnail. We're gonna go back to that thumbnail from a third eye point of view, not a bird eye point of view. But yeah, they editing history right in our face. That's why it's good to study, it's good to read, it's good to record this stuff. We do it live down there every day, sometimes multiple times a day. It's good to go over and over again, get the stuff down and memorize the stuff, because they clearly trying to cover up some stuff. We're gonna talk about it though. And I titled the show American Slavery, you know what I'm saying, editing history. We're looking at that third eye point of view one time, that thumbnail. And most people done saw this before. You know what I'm saying? If you haven't saw this before, we'll enlighten you on what it is. You know, it's a mural down in Mexico. It's a Mayan mural. And it's actually a slave. Salute, tribe up. It's one of your ancestors, my naga. It's a slave in America. And you ain't even know. One of your ancestors. We're going to talk about it. We're going to really get into it. Because when we look at history, they always telling us about Africans coming to America being enslaved and stuff like that. But is that what really happened? Can they provide any proof that that is what happened and that is where your ancestors come from? Or can you be provided with proof that says otherwise? Right now, we're looking at some proof that says otherwise. We're looking at an American slave, and it's an American Indian. It's a Mayan. Yeah, like I say, it's a mural down in Mexico. We're going to talk about it, the Mexicas. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about where it came from and all. But I got to remind you that, that right here, it says slavery among Native Americans in the United States includes slavery by and slavery of Native Americans, roughly within what is currently the United States of America. So we're going to repeat that one more time for somebody that ain't here. Slavery among Native Americans in the United States includes slavery by and slavery of Native Americans, roughly within what is currently the United States of America. So we're looking at the American Indian slave. You know, Legend of Naga Charles in the house, tribe up, salute. So we got to understand what we're looking at. We got to relate it to the truth. You know, where I'm reading from, slavery amongst Native Americans in the United States. Right here, slavery among Native Americans in the United States includes slavery by and slavery of Native Americans, roughly within what is currently the United States of America. Slavery amongst Native Americans in the United States, Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, Virginia. It included slavery by and slavery of indigenous Americans, American Indians, roughly within what is currently the United States. We got to understand what we're talking about here. Because when we saying slavery of American Indians, this line right up with the history that you know. You're looking at the slave and it's a Naga. It's a Naga with dreads. It line right up with what you know. They just told you the slave was from Africa. Don't sit here and we read about slavery of Native Americans by Native Americans in what is roughly the United States. And then the first thing come to your mind is this. You got to be out your mind. When have you ever seen a depiction of anybody that looked like this being enslaved? I ain't gonna raise my voice tonight. It just funny to me. When have you ever seen anybody looking like this in any images of slavery besides the indentured servants, the indentured slaves that came from Europe? Salute. Understand where I'm coming from? The indentured slaves that came from Europe look like this, not the American Indians. When we speaking on slavery among Native Americans in the United States includes slavery by and slavery of Native Americans, roughly in what is currently the United States. We ain't talking about nobody that look like pale, because we know that's not what happened. We know everybody that's in the United States that's getting picked at about slavery today, talking about your ancestors was picking cotton and all this here. We know they look like this. Yeah. It wasn't pale at all. They was so-called Negroes. I say this is just a Mexico wall painting of the Mayans, you know, Mexico, the Mexica. So we know who was getting enslaved. We know it was so-called black people getting enslaved. That's in America. The slaves that was being brought to America was white, the indentured slaves. But the people that was getting captured, they weren't getting captured in Africa. They was getting captured in America by Native Americans and by Europeans. It told us right here. They threw you off with this image, though. They should have put that image I just looked at. See, I could clean all this mess up for real. Tribal territories in the slave trade range over present-day borders. Some Native American tribes held war captives as slaves prior to and during European colonization. Don't it make sense? Some Native Americans held war captives as slaves, right? This definitely don't make sense. This do. And it's ancient. So let's proceed, because we know what we're talking about here. It says some Native Americans were captured and sold by others into slavery to Europeans. Yep, looking just like this. Then they're gonna tell you he escaped from Africa, and now he somehow get back with the Mayans. He somehow find his way back to the Mayans somehow. He escaped. He a maroon. He a similar now. People been playing games with us for so long that they got you all spent around backwards. Yeah, we back down to business tonight. We'll have fun, vibing with your family and everything, talking family business, and we back to business though right now. Sold by others into slavery to Europeans, while others were captured and sold by Europeans themselves. Oh, so Europeans were capturing American Indians themselves and selling them? They weren't capturing Africans? Nope. They didn't have to capture no Africans, Blackjack. Why they didn't have to capture no Africans? Because the American Indians look like this. They say there's plenty of nigglets over here. They say, why the hell we need to go to Africa and get anybody? They go a niglet slave. Yeah, the Europeans started capturing the Indians and selling too. They like their own brothers selling them. They can't get along with each other. These tribes beefing. They capturing and selling each other into slavery. They keeping someone enslaved and they selling to us. Naga on naga. Naga on naga. Yeah, they not Blackjack. They painted themselves black so they can look fierce in war. Yeah. Yeah, what he made up the dreads too, what he put on the wig. He butt naked. He ain't painted himself black. He just a naga. See, it's so easy to point out their lies one at a time. Just take your time. They painted themselves black for war. Yeah, what about this? That's a naga. He butt naked. In the slave trade in America. Get no Africans. Yeah, right. They ain't get no Africans from Africans coming over here. They own stores and stuff. You know what I'm saying? They run stores. No African slaves. Nobody was an African slave over here. I jump out there and say that no African slaves whatsoever came to America. I jump out. Anybody prove me? You think I won't jump out the window and say that? You think I ain't got the courage to say that for a reason? You can't prove that one African slave came here. Nobody can. We can easily prove that the slaves was already here. Yep, Native Americans, brother enslaving each other, fighting, enslaving each other, selling the Europeans. They just told us. We see it. Yeah, captured and sold by Europeans themselves. In the late 18th and 19th century, a small number of tribes, such as the 5 so-called civilized tribes, began increasing their holding of African Americans. African Americans, what? Back in when that was? The late 1800s, that was a thing? You sure they wasn't getting these knockers here? Oh, the 5 civilized tribes, how they look? Like this. Yeah, 5 civilized tribes, huh? Noble Savage. Historical painting, The Death of Jennifer Wolfe, features a noble savage Indian. Noble savage Indian. Why they ain't got no clocks that look like that? Why the French ain't got no clocks? The French made up the noble savage. Why they ain't got no clock that look like him? Why that man in that parade running around scaring the children don't look like this? Why he ain't painted in white face? They got that knocker painted black. Anyway. Slavery, y'all. 5 civilized here. European contact greatly influenced slavery. Okay. Traditions of slavery by Native Americans. Many Native Americans tried practiced some form of slavery before Columbus got his monk ass here. Y'all was already wilding, man. Y'all niggas was wilding, beefing, doing slavery drills on each other. The Mayans versus this, that versus that. Niggas can't get along. Yeah, we doomed for real. Doomed our verses. That's why we like Will now for real. I don't, honestly, y'all, I be gonna lose hope sometimes. I be like, this ain't gonna change. Cause 1, 2, ain't enough niggas careful. I don't know. It's starting to change. I know it's starting to change because they were trying to rewrite history, and I'm gonna show y'all what I mean. And that's why the title of the show is the way it is: Editing History, American Slavery. They know we own them. We starting to mess with the Google algorithm, making all this content and all these titles, and they starting to see that we own to them. They starting to change what they got on here. Cause even on this Wikipedia, you got them people editing this stuff. Slavery amongst Native Americans. They ain't edit this, but on this other ones though, like I'm gonna skip that. I'm gonna come back to that because it's something I want to point out to that. I brought that up intentionally. Like this. Nah, not that one either. Hold on. Let me pull. I got all these sources of stuff I'm gonna talk about. Yeah, like this. When you put up only about 300,000 slaves came to the U.S. You know, we done videos on this. I know exactly what usually come up in the Google search, but all of a sudden it's different now. Cause we've been talking about that we done more than one live stream talking about when they banned the importation of so-called Africans. We've been walking down their lives, not just me, other content creators too. And now they starting to change it. The importation of slaves into the U.S. was banned 18 years. Y'all know y'all better jump out there and say that, cause now you working. Now you got a time frame you working with, and see this way they going. This way they playing themselves. They claim. Remember, they claim the first Africans was brought in 1619. So now they making their claim that the cease is here. So 1619 to 1808 ain't even 200 years. The numbers don't add up. It's too many Nagas. It's just impossible. And they ain't got enough ships. That's why they gotta say the ships is packed like sardines, even though real boaters know that you can't pack a ship like sardines. It's not even gonna be able to pull off. It's going straight to the bottom. It's not gonna pull off and just ride off across the ocean. You pack a ship, any boat like sardines, it's the first place it's taking off to is straight to the bottom. You know what I'm saying? Go get on the cruise ship and ask me, can we pack it like a slave ship and see what happens. So then they telling you though, they gotta be honest. By which time between 300,000, now they trying to, this wasn't even between 300,000 to 500,000. No, they stood on only about 300,000. Matter of fact, the number was thrown out there is 388,000. Now they trying to say between 300 and 500,000. That's why we got to continue to study and being aware, because 5 or 10 years from now, some new knockers gonna read and they gonna say, no, Blackjack, 5 million slaves came from Africa. It's gonna be no change from 500,000 to 5 million. They're gonna keep lying to our kids and stuff. So 300, now they saying 300 to 500,000. They done edited, had been imported subsequent slaves from nearly all born. Then they say after that, subsequent slaves were nearly all born in the United States. Oh, they finna paint themselves in the corner again. You mean to tell me slaves were eating good? They were eating caviar. They were getting fed 5 times a day. They were living high on the hog. The women had good birth rates. They was popping out 10 kids. Just slaves, just popping out 10. Oh, they didn't have a bad mortality. They had good health care. They had benefits. They had everything, right? You gonna tell me that? Because now you're trying to calculate these numbers. Now you're gonna try to admit all slaves were born. Yeah, we know all the slaves was born in the United States. We know y'all ain't even bring 300,000. We know all the slaves was born in the United States. These Nagas, Mayans and stuff. That's why we got so many women in our tribe named Maya. These names don't carry on for nothing. Maya is not Maya a slave name? You absolutely right. Maya is a slave name, not an African slave. Shout out to all the sisters named Maya. They painting themselves in the corner with this stuff, because that's why I say you got to keep studying and you got to know this stuff by heart so you can point out their lies right away, catch them in their lies. They gonna go edit this again, and we know they lying, because now look at here. They say over 12 million Africans forced into the transatlantic slave trade from the 16th to the 19th century. Only 4%. They were saying 3%. Now they trying to say 4. They trying to increase the numbers. Roughly 470,000 men, women, and children were sent to North America. Well, from Mexico and other parts of America, they're starting to edit the information. Then when you go down to Brazil, we know this a big lie right here. We done broke Brazil down heavy. I know this why they starting to do this. From 1560 to 1850, about 4.8 million enslaved people were transported to Brazil. They had to be white. They can't be black. So they might be being honest, but we might be getting confused about who they talking about. These might be 4.8 million white slaves transported, because the blacks, the so-called blacks, was already there. 4.7 million was sent to the Caribbean. Okay, and at least 388,000, or 4% now, they claim, of those who survived the Middle Passage arrived in North America. Now look how they put that, 4% of who survived. Well, let's see what they're saying about the survivors real quick. Hold on, let me jump back. Now, we see all them packed slave ships, right? Look at all these lies. It's so easy to catch them in. Let me walk it backwards. Yeah. The Henrietta. Yeah, okay, yeah. Let me get back where I was going. Yeah, I was looking at the so-called black carrots. Them trying to explain why they're black, right? The Garafunas, right? They're talking about they West African slaves. They say the Garafunas or black carrots are thought to have arisen from an admixture. They always saying you mix, right? Of West African slaves who survived the wreck of 2 British ships carrying slaves to the West Indies and indigenous peoples. So what? You mean Africans mixing with what? Other Nagas? What you trying to say? And we know it ain't no slave ship wreck from Africa. We know that's a loud talk. Anyway, I'm just pointing some stuff out. Now, let me back up. Nah, when they talk, they always talking about slave ships wrecking and stuff. That's how they explain Indians, these black Indians being all over the place. They try to say a slave ship wreck. That's their first excuse they always lean on. Look, the transatlantic slave trade, right? The transatlantic slave trade began in the late 15th century in Nigeria. See, got them. You big dummy. Got them. Y'all better write this down. That's why I say you gotta study this stuff. They painting themselves in corners. Now they trying to pinpoint a place. They saying in the late 15th century in Nigeria, right? They say Portuguese navigators hoping to tap the fable meaning a lie. Saharan gold trade had reconnoitered the West African coast as far as the Niger Delta and traded European commodities for local crowds as well as slaves, the latter which turned out to be highly lucrative. In the early stages, Europeans captured Nigerians and raids on coastal communities, but as the demand grew, they relied on slaves to be supplied by local rulers, traders, and the military aristocracy, providing these agents with rum, guns, horses, industrial products, and fine muslin cloth. Now peep this, what I want to point out here. They pointing out Nigeria, and I'm finna show y'all something. Cause like when they tell you got African ancestry, they never say Nigeria. They dare never say that. The reason why, because they have no proof. What ships came from Nigeria with slaves to America? They make up a fictitious story real quick and throw it on you. It sounds believable. It say by 1490, more than 3,000 slaves a year were transported to Portugal and Spain from Africa. Keep that in mind, Portugal. With the European expansion and colonization of the West Indies and America, what was a small market in ivory, gold, and oil wasn't small, and slaves transformed. Look, the West Indies was a market in gold and slaves. Peep that. They being honest right there. Transformed into a massive global trade from the last third of the 16th century to the early 19th century. Portuguese, then Dutch, then French, and English merchants greedily expanded the African slave trade intentionally. Now they claim in Nigeria, now look, enormous profits were made mostly by Europeans, but a small number of Africans also benefited economically. Oh yeah, we know. Mostly along the southwestern coast of Nigeria. Over the period of trade, more than 3.5 million slaves were shipped from Nigeria to North and South America and the Caribbean colonies. Now, With that being said, they gave a number and a place. They saying 3.5 million. Now we know only about 300 something thousand. They claim African slaves came to America, which we know is a lie. That's they claim though. I'm just pointing out they making numbers. So that's a tenth of this. About 300 something thousand is about a tenth of 3.5 million. So they claim the rest went to the Caribbean and South America, places like Brazil. They gonna try to say, yeah, Brazil, right? That's how they're gonna try to explain all the blacks being in Brazil. All this is a lie right here though. I'm gonna show you how all this is a lie. Because when you really look into Nigeria and the slave trade that's in Nigeria, slavery has existed in various forms throughout the history of Nigeria, notably the Atlantic slave trade, right? They want to say that, and trans-Saharan trade. Slavery is now illegal internationally and in Nigeria. However, legally it's often overlooked with different pre-existing cultural traditions which view certain actions differently. Now look, when you go to slavery in Nigeria, slavery has existed in that's what we just read in Nigeria, certain traditions we just read. Then there are many African states. Look, then the inevitable overlap between cultural tradition and religious practices, as well as national legislation in many African states, which has had the power to exert extra legal control over many lives, resulting in modern day slavery. The most common forms of modern slavery in Nigeria are human trafficking and child labor. Because modern slavery is difficult to recognize, it has been difficult to combat the practice despite international and national efforts. History of slavery, this is where we want to be at. We don't want to hear about nothing modern, we want to hear about history. Look, the traditional slave trade in southern Nigeria preceded the arrival of European influence and continued locally long after the effect of abolition of slavery in many other countries. With the arrival of transatlantic slave trade, look how they got there. With the arrival of the transatlantic slave trade, what do you mean by that? What is that, a ship? Is that a person? Is that a country? Traditional slave traders in southeastern Nigeria became suppliers of slaves to European slave traders. Although local slavery was officially prohibited by the colonial British administration from the mid 1880s, I guess they mean tacitly, they tacitly permitted it to continue well into the 1930s, ending completely only in the 1940s. Now look, notice they said nothing about how nobody came from Europe and got slaves and took them to America. They went real brief. Yeah, it started with the transatlantic slave trade, then boom, they went to start talking about when they got abolished in the 1940s. Now boom, they jumped right into the Igbo, right? The Igbo. Look, they talking 2020. Look, the Sokoto. None of these people came to America. Definitely not in the 1800s. Look, they talking about 1900. Had at least 1 million, perhaps as many as 2.5 million slaves. But they talking about Muslim slaves were captured during the Futani War. They talking about trading over in Africa, not in America. None of this history is showing trading of Nigerian slaves in America. You can go, I went through this already. Now they talking human trafficking. They got no proof of pre-colonial African slaves from Nigeria being brought to. Go read it for yourself. There's no proof here. Hearsay right at the beginning, throw you off. They jump in, talk about brought on the transatlantic slave trade, and they immediately, the rest of it is talking all Africa. Slavery getting traded in Africa. How they doing this child porn or whatever. This is what they talking in Nigeria. There is no proof. And then on one of these articles, they jumped out there and tried to say, yeah, about most of them 3.5 million went to Brazil. That's a lie. Because we can go right here. We already done did this. I mean, we can drop one bomb on for anybody that's want to say, yeah, they all went to Brazil. All the Nigerian, man, that is a lie. You believe that white devil lie? You are crazy if you believe that. You are crazy. We can go right here. We've been dispelled that about Brazilian slavery. All the slaves and all the Nagas that got enslaved in Brazil was just indigenous people. And we already proved it. I just scroll down my community post. It's right in here somewhere. I dropped it back on here. There you go. It's from a book right here. I can pull the book out. We're talking slavery in Brazil. where it says the colony's value was increasingly centered on large-scale sugar production, and this, in order to be profitable, required a large contingent of slave workers. As in Brazil, there was a great possibility of just using the indigenous people. There wasn't no need to go to Africa. And the planters ain't even have enough money because they was indentured slaves. They ain't have enough resources to import no Africans. The best option was just to use the indigenous people. I mean, they can try to rewrite history all they want to, but there we go. Look, the Portuguese crown, who we just got through talking about. The Portuguese. All you got to do is really study Portuguese slavery, and you're going to see it's the indigenous people. It's not Africans. Not in America. I have no idea what they was doing when they was in Portugal, but when they was in America, they were just enslaving indigenous people. They go to French, Bone Savage Clark, Noble Savage, but Google turn around and tell you this guy's the Noble Savage though. No Clark's looking like him though. No Clark's looking like him. They calling him a Noble Savage, American Indian. Nothing over. They ain't made not one Clark looking like him. Right here on the book, Slavery in Brazil, the knockers carrying shit, a bale of cotton, the sugar, and they made the damn clock the same damn way, huh? And I can find it this easy. My son in the house, tribe, but salute. Oh, them Africans, Black Jack. Yeah, I guess that's why he got a feather, huh? Them Africans, huh? These Africans, huh, Black Jack? Why they call them noble savages then? Is a noble savage an African? No, they claim this guy is. They just should have put the clock right here and told the truth about the noble savage. We can keep talking about this shit over and over again. And now let's say they lying about Nigeria, talking about slaves from Nigeria. They be talking about went to the Carol, talking about that's how they trying to say, yo, the Carafunas, the Carol, they black, they Carafunas, they from West Africa. Stop lying. Stop lying. Tired. Talking about they came on the Henrietta. The Henrietta Marie was a slave ship. Well, look, that's the Henrietta Marie, I guess. Oh, the ship that can't even sail. The ship that's so packed that it'll sink to the bottom before it even got a chance to pull off from the port, huh? And that you ain't even got a real ship. You always showing us a cartoon, huh? Now you gave it a name. They carried captive Africans to the West Indies, where they were sold as slaves. The ship wrecked at the southern tip of Florida on its way home to England. That's how they try to explain all these noggers like me in Florida. Kodak Black looking noggers in Haiti and Florida, and they try to explain us. And it's one of only a few wrecks of slave ships that have been identified. They say the same story about other shit. Because they try to tell you that's how the black carrots got there. Remember, the Carafunas of black carrots are thought to have arisen from a mixture of West African slaves from Nigeria. They mixed with the Indians, with the indigenous people. That's how we explain in this. That's why they on the Mayan wall. You see, the slave ship crashed because it was way too heavy anyway. You know what I'm saying? You know, I mean, I don't know if they just making it up as they go, or they just relying on people to be this dumb, or what. They say who survived the wreck of two British ships carrying slaves to the West Indies, and slaves and indigenous people. How it's always Africans and indigenous people? Wait a minute, how the Africans look? Because this is the Mayan. Was the Africans white, or was did they look like us? I'm trying to get an understanding of what they trying to say, y'all. But check this out. So that's why I say we all got to keep our third eye open. We can't be slipping on anything. Now, so the ships, when you look up what's the two ships that wrecked? Well, one of them come up. They want to claim they made up a ship, the Henrietta Marie. Now look at this. I'm talking about in Florida. The Henrietta Marie carried a crew of about 18 men. It was probably built in France. Okay, France. Here we go with France again. Yeah, the noble savage people. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, here we go. Sometimes in the 17th century, the ship came into English possession late in the 17th century. See, so they be pirating each other. They say it was a French ship. You know what I'm saying? Now they trying to say, at the end, they not even look. This how I know they lying, man. They talking about it was probably. That means you don't know. Every say, that's somebody say, well, Blackjack, what time you got home? Somebody asked me, well, what time Blackjack got home? Then somebody say, well, he probably got home. They don't know what they talking about. You got to say, oh, well, he got home at 6 o'clock. I saw him. You can't be talking about it. When somebody's saying probably, they don't know. It probably was French built sometime, and the ship came into English possession late in the 17th century. Possibly. See, they making stuff up. As a war prize during the War of the Grand Alliance, it was put to use in the Atlantic slaves. So you gonna jump that? You gonna say it was possibly a war prize? It was possibly a French made. It was possibly taken by the English. But you gonna go right there and say, but yeah, we know for sure though it was the Atlantic slave trade. Shit, these people, liars, making at least 2 voyages carrying Africans to slavery to the West Indies. On its first voyage in 1697 to 1698, the ship carried more than 200 people from Africa that were sold as slaves in the Barbados. All right, they pinpoint the place. Now let me dig into slavery in Barbados, and I guarantee you ain't no Nigerians whatsoever. We already talked about slavery in Barbados. A lot of Seminole Indians from Florida was down there that you start calling Maroons. They had escaped, the unconquered people, the niggers. The ship was owned by a consortium of vessels including Thomas Stark, an experienced slave trader, who was part owner of several other slaving vessels. Okay, what was the name of them? And owned 5 tobacco plantations in Virginia. So how you know all this stuff about him and everything? You gonna say he owned all these, but then you don't even know where the ship was made. You see what I'm saying? You got a fuzzy beginning. Then as the story go along, you get real certain. Yeah, Thomas Stark. This is made up. You know you was enslaving American Negro Indians in Virginia and getting tobacco from them. The tobacco ads show us. The tobacco ads show us. The runaway slave ads show us. They show us the truth. Hey man, Virginia, I ain't mean to type that. Virginia tobacco. I mean, we know what it is. Oh, looking like the bones. Wow, wow, that look like that. Ain't that a coincidence? He look just like him. That might be the same damn person. Like they said, stand right here. Like they said, stand right here for a minute. Let us draw you for this tobacco ad in Virginia. Yeah. So when they start saying, and he got plantations in Virginia, we know it was American Indian slaves. Those are not Africans. So boom, he tied himself to Virginia. He tied himself to tobacco Indians. We know they made statues out of it. He whoever Thomas Stark is, he ain't had, his dirty ass ain't had no money to go to Africa. He had no money. They had no money to go to Africa. They used indigenous people as labor. So like, I don't buy all these lies that they start telling us. I keep track of them though, just to point them out. Now look, they say in 1699, the Henrietta Marie, boom, they named the ship, sailed from England. Okay, now they're saying to sail from England on the first leg of the triangular trade route with a load of trade goods, including iron, copper bars, pewter. The ship sailed under licenses from the Royal African Company. Nah, this is funny. Because they talking about they sailed out of English, they talking about this French made. What's really going on here? What's the true story? The Henrietta, huh? So we go continue research. They talking about all in Charleston, South Carolina, right? Now look, before I go to Charleston, I'm gonna jump back to Charleston because they talking about Virginia and Charleston. Damn, I ain't mean to do that. I fucked up. I messed up, y'all. Hold on. Damn, I had a source I just deleted. Anyway, I was finna make a point with that other source. But they talking about the Henrietta, Thomas Starr, Henrietta. That's what we was on. Let me put it back up. Thomas Starr, slave trader. Let's pull that source back up. All right, let's put his ship, the Henrietta. That ain't the one. I looked at a couple on. It was this one. The Henrietta. So this is what they make these claims. The Henrietta Marie was a slave ship that carried captive Africans to the West Indies on the tip of Florida, right? Wikipedia jumps out here and say this, but all the proof show otherwise. A Nola Boy 504 in the house, tribe up, salute. All the proofs say otherwise. They jump out here, they make up ships, the Henrietta, then they show you a piece of wood. Now I'm gonna go back to the other source that I just said wasn't it, but let's read a couple more. They say the Henrietta Marie carried about 18 men. Then they claim, this how they claim all the Nagas got down to the Black Carrots. They claiming it was a war prize. All these lies. Then they claim the triangular trade and all this here. But it was a point that I was trying to make right here. Hold on, I got thrown off when I deleted something. Let me go back to this. Look, they never have a ship. Let me go back to this. His granddaughter, somebody, Mariana Starr. Look what this goofy stuff they be writing. And what Mariana Starr was not, I explained that she was not, as she had so often been cited, born in India. Hold on, wait a minute. Inherited from his father, Thomas Starr. The slave trader John turned his back on the shit. Why did he for a second, man? Hold on, that's not what I was looking for. Hold on. Dang, it was something they talking about. Yeah, we found a shackle. They said they found the shackle. Hold on. I gotta find it. Dang, I had the source up. Cause I was like, all right, well, where the ship at? They claim they ain't got no ship, they got a shackle. How a shackle just become a ship though, what I'm trying to understand. Damn, what I did with that source. That's right, study describes archipelago. Dang, y'all, I might have messed up, y'all. I wanted to show y'all where they claim they found the shackle, or the skirt hit, or right here. The wreck was found in 1972, right? Look, in 1972 now, what that was. About 50 years ago, a little over 52 years ago, during a magnetometer survey by a boat operated by a subsidiary of Mel Fisher's Treasures on Salvers. And other ships, blah, blah, blah. And wreck. The wreck was visited again. And, see, 2 anchors and a cannon were found on the first visit. The wreck was visited again. Some artifacts. Now, see, look, they talking about anchors and cannons. How you gonna pack a boat with like sardines and you got some cannons on that shit? You find the cannons, that couldn't have been no slave ship. Or what you say a slave ship is. The wreck was visited again. Some artifacts were collected from the wreck, including bilboes, iron shackles that were used to restrain slaves. These folks is making stuff up. So there's no ship. You found some shackles, a cannon, and now you say it was the Henrietta. You making stuff up. And nobody came from Nigeria. We know, we just read the source, especially from the Portuguese. It's who involved right now. The Portuguese, English, London, France. These folks are great liars. They hit you with a bombardment of lies too. And people it sound official when people start throwing that. You see, they go a shackle. You see, it was this many slaves. The ship looked like this. It starts sounding, especially for Nagas that don't study. Nagas that just more worrying about who they dating right now. Nagas be worrying about that kind of shit too much. Worrying about their sex life and shit. You know what I'm saying? Nagas like degenerate for real. Instead of learning being on something official. You know what I'm saying? Sex ain't even a big deal like that. That's just part of life. Relationships, that's just life. And like, we so caught up on that, we don't even want to know our real stuff. Like the Carolina, see this shit here. They talking about the Garifuna. Let me stroll back down. The center of the domestic slaves, they lying. These indigenous people, they lying, trying to say they trying. Let me stroll back where I was at. Hold on. They be lying, trying to say, oh, they came from Nigeria, this and that. These indigenous, these American Indians, please. You called them bone savages. Resistance to enslavement, little enslaved Africans in the Carolinas. They're not even in Africa. Wait a minute. So you mean enslaved Carolina? You mean enslaved Carolinians resisted bondage in a myriad of ways. They revolted, they escaped, and they survived. That's what I want to talk about. So remember that one source we was just reading about slavery, where they tried to say where they tried to make, they jumped out there with a claim. They tried to say all slaves were American born. Remember that? Slavery in Nigeria. I'm gonna go back to that because I'm gonna point out something. Well, I ain't going back to that one. We already went through that. Yeah, so I said, hold on. Take my time. It was one point. It was something where it was. Oh, it was when we were looking at the numbers for the slave trade. Hold on, where they made the claim. It's a they talked about how many arrived, and then they always say at least a third of them died. They always say at least a third of the people died. They came. They always try to say that, right? Hold on, whoa. It was something else. What they were saying, where they tried to say the slaves were American born. Where that source was at? Well, y'all know what I'm talking about. It was one where they were like, yeah, on 3%, so such and such came, and the rest was American born. Like they were saying it like, oh, like the slaves were just having babies left and right, right? But then, if that's the case, if you're saying that to explain our numbers, that the slaves were just having babies left and right, that the rest was American born and all this and that, then why on Earth, when we read, let me go back to what I just pulled up, this. Charleston was North America's largest transatlantic slave trade port of entry. Nearly 150,000 kidnapped Africans. Remember, they only said 388,000 they claim came to the U.S., which is a lie. Now they want to say in Charleston, 150,000 kidnapped Africans. Over 40% of all enslaved Africans trafficked to North America arrived through Charleston Harbor. This is what they claiming, right? As a result, many black Americans today can identify at least one ancestor who trafficked through Charleston. But they don't turn around and tell you that all the slaves in Charleston was American Indians. When you really do the real research, all the slaves that was moving through South Carolina was American Indians. The arrival in Charleston was part of it. They start calling you Africans because they know those Indians were so-called black people. They flipped the story. They rewriting it. The arrival in Charleston was part of a brutal and traumatic journey. See, here we go. Brutal and traumatic journey. How we get so many numbers then? For kidnapped Africans. Some arriving ships had lost as many as 3/4. What? Whoa. You jumping out there. They say lost as many as 3/4. How the hell they got here and started having babies like rabbits after that? What happened? They were eating real good and had a lot of babies, huh? More than the white people? People on board. 3/4 lost, huh? During the middle passage. That can sound accurate. 3/4 of the ship go down and don't even make it. Because how packed them ships is like a sardine. It ain't going nowhere. And y'all remember we just did a live stream on immigrant ship, them immigrant ships that's packed like slave ships that's sinking left and right. They ain't even trying to come to America. They trying to leave Africa and take a short trip to Greece. And we just did a stream about this. All these jokers dying out here. Ships capsizing because the ship can't float like this for real. You can't pack a ship down like that. It's going down. You're gonna be on a rescue mission. A lot of people gonna die. We just did a live stream on it. This is impossible. It won't make it across a rough sea. It can't even make it to Greece. So we talk about these stories, the Henrietta and all this here, and they tell you wreck died, and then they tell you 3/4 died. That sound okay? Yeah, that sound like it ain't even make it. 3/4 died. That ship ain't even make it over here. Those who survive could spend weeks or even months confined to board ships. Weeks or months on the ship, they gonna die too, right? In the port of waiting sail, many died. See? So if 3/4 died before they got, if 3/4 died before they even got here, and then many, it's only 1/4 left. It's only 1/4 of slaves left from the ship when they got here, and then many died. That was left out. The 1/4 of dysentery, typhus, and other diseases, and their bodies were thrown overboard into the harbor. Well, who was left? And how the hell we got so many Nagas today? See, this is a bunch of lies. Bunch of lies. The numbers don't lie. The numbers don't add up. The math ain't mathing. The math ain't mathing. About 1/3 of kidnapped Africans who landed in South Carolina died within a year. So it was only 1/3 left. 3/4 died on the way. Some died in the harbor, and then 1/3 died within a year. See, these is lies, man. This is why I say none of this makes sense, man. These are American Indians, man. They know all about cotton. They already owned the farm. Y'all doing diversity came and stole the Naga farm, talking about sharecropping and all this here. Carolina gold, yeah, we know y'all doing a lot of stealing. These indigenous Nagas. It wasn't no Africans. Bunch of lies. Lies, lies, lies. This is crazy, man. They said 150,000 went to South Carolina. Now they trying to say, well, the 4 we ain't 388 no more. It's 470 total now. Stop lying. Stop lying, man. Look, let's make it real easy. All that, through Charleston, South Carolina. Okay. You know, paint yourself in the corner. Real easy. It's easy. American Indians enslaved. Damn, y'all, what am I just tired? Charleston, South Carolina. Let's see what this say. Even though I already know. All right. In the Carolinas, colonists took tens of thousands. Man, tens of thousands. I bet tens of millions, hundreds of thousands. Yeah, they call them Africans now. Trying to say all that ain't brought no damn body. All this damn, I ain't no damn body from Africa came over here back then. You Nagas was just already here. Carolina Indian slaves and shipped many of them to the Caribbean. Oh, not Nigerians? Oh, you was getting Indians out the Carolinas and shipping to the Caribbean. Oh, 1670, yeah, that sound right. We were just talking about that. Oh, they talking about the Henrietta. Big lies. Very easy to dispel your big, bold lies. That's why they don't even say nothing. They be coming in here watching. They don't say nothing no more. They try to hit me in comments when I ain't live on my regular video, and I be catching on. I catch them. They don't come in here and say nothing live because they can't go against this. Talking about Africans. You was grabbing the 17, say, yeah, 1600, okay, American Indians, huh? 150,000 years. Stop lying. 150,000 American Indians. This is sad, man, that the arrival of Charleston was brutal and traumatic. Ooh, the boogeyman, the Middle Passage. Y'all ready to go to Africa now? Kidnapped Africans, yeah, Charleston, the Carolina colonists. Who was taking the Africans? The colonizers? Nope. They were taking thousands of American Indians. What? Probably more than 150, huh? People so dumb, man. They wish they were smarter than me. They wish they can get in here and say something and beat on their chest, but they know they can't. That's why they wait like a coward till I ain't lie no more. Try to troll in my comments when I ain't lie. But I just snipe them. I ain't worrying about it. They can say something. They can come here, the fake red man stuff and all that. Talk junk when I ain't lie no more, because they know I'm gonna go out. They know I'm crazy. They already know I can't say nothing when it's not a lie. He gonna go out. He be cussing. He don't care about that one. It's not gonna go slap ass off on my ass if I say something. I'm gonna wait till he not live. This is what these dudes be doing. Y'all don't even really be getting to see it because I be deleting it. I be like, man, and they officially muted. You can't speak on my channel no more. You know what I'm saying? They just be mad because like we know the truth and like we just be exposing all this Nigeria talk. Line. We know. Nobody came from Africa. They didn't have no money to bring nobody from Africa. First off, let's start right there. That's why it ain't no ship. They find a shackle and tell you it was a slave ship. And niggas out here dumb enough to believe that stuff. You see, Black Jack, they found the shackle. If you don't get your goof ass out of here, that's why I be tired of niggas, y'all. Y'all probably be like, this nigga been rampaging lately. I have. I'll be first to admit it. I have been action packed lately. I just been bringing it out of me, man. It's just Christmas. I've been the Grinch. I'm not a Christmas spirit. All that's been niggas. You messing up, nigga. F your Christmas. You niggas got me mad with all this wickedness and this heathenism. That's why I've been feeling crazy lately. Cut my leg off, going off and snapping and shit. Yeah. I be tired of this bullshit. That's why sometimes I just be like, man, it's too easy to find this stuff out, man. I be losing hope because I be like, there should be more our people standing up for this, knowing this. There shouldn't be nobody talking about no Pan-African, back to Africa stuff. But we still got to deal with that. I be like, this is sad for real. I be like, you can't get through the niggas. Then don't go to talking about family and relationships. Oh, man, it's over. You know what I'm saying? It's over for real, you know what I'm saying? Well, I don't know what. I be like, I don't know, baby. These last days for real, y'all. They say a remnant gonna rain, but maybe this is it. Maybe this like Michael Jackson. This is it, y'all. We damn sure ain't popping off with families. We ain't got nothing. We ain't gonna soon we ain't gonna have nothing to fight with. We just gonna be consumed by the beast. But I think if that happened though, like if I think niggas don't tighten up. And niggas don't like realize who we is and won't start acting right. We won't teach our kids to try but the right way where we can build our numbers up in our ancestral land like we supposed to be. We supposed to outnumber everybody else. And I don't want to hear nothing about population control and how about it ain't enough resources down there. So what? I don't care if we all real skinny. It need to be 10 billion us over here so we can fight. We can run everybody that we don't want to be here. I mean, we can let whoever we want to stay. Anybody else on some BS, they can go. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm on for real. I don't really care about nothing else. For real. Just being honest, like that's why I be like, niggas be talking about dating and stuff. I don't really be caring. I did that one show on the ain't even too many niggas looked at that. You know what I'm saying? I already know because they don't like what I had to say. But hey, I ain't gonna tell you what you like to hear just to be your friend. I'm gonna tell you how I really feel every time. So if it's something that you don't want to hear from me, you better ask me. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't scared of you, knocker. Why I lie to you for? You know what I'm saying? it just like I say, a lot of time a knocker be losing hope for real. Knocker be like, is this all in vain? A lot of times, sometimes I be feeling like, is this in vain, Black Jack? I know it ain't in vain because I know if it ain't with two people that gain something from this, that's good enough. You know what I'm saying? And the Most High gonna look kindly on that, you know what I'm saying? And forgive me for all the other bullshit I done did. Yeah, but I don't know. Maybe a change to come. I don't know. What y'all think? Y'all think we gonna make a change? Hit me in the chat. Let me know y'all think a change coming. I feel like them folks scared. That's why they editing all these this information, these numbers and stuff, making all because they know they like, boy, these niggas are more intelligent than we thought. They like, these niggas are really studying. We studying more than them. Now they going in rewriting websites and shit, trying to cover their tracks. Man, they can't rewrite this. What they gonna do? Try to white him out? And this thing, see, if we don't talk about it, they might just do that. They might hit him with the eraser, throw some white out on him. This thing, yeah, see, American Indians got enslaved. Yep. Then they gonna be telling they be telling your kids, your grandkids, yeah, of course the Indians got enslaved. They done whitewash the picture and shit. Lying. But hey, Salmon say change is definitely coming. I hope so. Cause I be getting bored with this. I ain't getting bored with what we do over here. I be getting frustrated with how Nagas living. Like, cause I want Nagas to win for real. Like, I want to see Nagas win. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want to see. I want to see us strong. I want to see more Nagas. Like, it ain't enough Nagas if you ask me. Like, I want to see Nagas everywhere. You know what I'm saying? It was like that. This nigga say he want to see Nagas everywhere. I'm dead serious. Like, especially like everybody that be complaining about the dating world. Okay, it ain't enough Nagas then. It ain't enough women. It ain't enough men. We need more people. Have more children in. You know what I'm saying? Think about it. Say we got, I don't even know the number right now. I know it when I don't feel like looking. Say it's 5 million Nagas in the U.S. But what if it was 50 million dollars? Now, if it was 50, all you Nagas that's crying about your dating life and all this here, I wouldn't get you Nagas no break then. You Nagas won't get no break from me then. I'd be like, Naga, we got 50 million Nagas now. You still can't find nobody. There's something wrong with you, Naga. You big dummy. You know what I'm saying? Uni Big Tree in the house. Tribe Buck salute. My boy Uni in the house. Hey, I know Uni. We gotta try to uplift. We gotta try to uplift. And that's like if you look, 90%. Now I'm gonna say a good 90% of our content is uplifting the Naga, strictly for my Naga, stronghold of the Naga. But every now and then, 10% of content, we gotta chastise Nagas. Not to see you can't. It's like the preacher kids. You ever notice how the preacher kids be bad as all outdoors, like nobody never chastised them? You ever seen some kids like that? But it's like the Most High kid. We the children of the Most High. Nagas be out of order. Sometimes where I be coming in the spirit of the Levites to put my foot in Naga's ass sometimes. I be mad for real. Y'all don't know it. I be taking shit personal. You know what I'm saying? They be like, this Naga is passionate. I be like, yes, I am dead because I want Nagas to win. You know what I'm saying? I be like, man, we can't win. We keep shooting ourselves in the foot with this dumb shit we doing. Just like our music, man. I want our music to go back to that real music. You know what I'm saying? That music about unity and shit. Rap music and all, man. We on drill culture. You know what I'm saying? All us, we be vibing and rocking out there, but is that all we got? I be like, he on sex music. I'm like, dang, is that all we got? I'm like, we got to get back to some real shit, man. This shit getting degenerate, more degenerate by the day, and that ain't helping nothing. You know what I'm saying? All this degenerate is working to their plan. All this degeneracy is working to their plan, the colonizer plan. You know what I'm saying? To assimilate you and wipe your ass out, Naga. Assimilate you and get rid of you. That's what the man they trying to. I'm telling you, they trying to water a Naga all the way on out of here. You know what I'm saying? Till your ass ain't over here no more, or at least what it's trying to do. If they ain't trying to just water nigga all the way out, they at least trying to get our numbers low enough till they really can try to put us on some shit. Say, yeah, Naga, you going to Africa now for real, whether you want to or not. And you're like, damn, we ain't got enough for us to fight no more. Then what? They force you Nagas to Africa. Some Nagas gonna be on that shit saying, oh, happy shit overloaded about to sink halfway to Africa. Ain't even made it barely off the show and gonna sink with your ass. Nagas thinking they going back home when you leaving home. You know what I'm saying? I can see stuff like that happening, man. I don't want to be here when that happen. If that's what's gonna happen, like if we ain't gonna try, but we ain't gonna do right by each other and grow our numbers. You got Nagas trying to be on science and stuff. Talking, see, man, we gonna overpopulate, man. That's stupid. We're not gonna overpopulate. No, we're not. Not gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? It's plenty of room for us over here. I don't know about everybody else, but it's plenty of room for us. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying that to say this, man. Like, at the end of the day, I don't know what's gonna happen. Like, if we end up getting eliminated or whatever, I just don't want to be here when all that shit happens. I want to be gone already. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be around that, but when they pack the rest of you Nagas up and send y'all ass to Africa, I want to already be gone with Grace, with my father. I want to be already up with the Most High and salute the South in the house. I don't want to be when they pack y'all ass up and they send your ass on the real transatlantic voyage. Nah, they're like, yeah, you Nagas, yeah, Dr. Umar on that bitch crying. Him and Will Smith on that bitch crying. I'm gonna be gone already. They're gonna be like, yeah, all the Nagas like blackjack out the way. Then when that happens, this what's gonna happen though. Y'all know what's gonna happen though? When the devil do get his way, and our number small enough to where he can really pack us on the ship and try to send us somewhere, when he do it, like I say, the ship ain't gonna make it, it's gonna sink. We're gonna just fall off, we're gonna be gone. Then the Most High gonna flood the earth again, and everybody gonna be gone. As soon as they do it to us, they gonna shoot their own 70 foot. As soon as they do it to us, that's why the Most High gonna say, yeah, it's a wrap now. Time to flood this thing again and start over. You know what I'm saying? So I be like, yeah, go on, let them do it. They eliminate us, they gonna be gone too. Cause after we gone, think about it. If the Most High done made the earth for his seed, and then his seed is no more, what you think gonna happen to the earth? the earth was designed for the seed of the Most High. When his seed is no more, what the hell you think gonna happen? You know what I'm saying? And well, I got y'all know I got a crazy mind. I'm a deep thinker. You know what I'm saying? Hey, but when I just got a text that I'm packing up my stuff. Hey, man, I just wanted to get at y'all one time, talk about this slavery stuff. We're gonna talk about it over and over again. They're gonna keep editing stuff. We're gonna keep talking about it. Hey, I'm Blackjack, this is the House of Cons, man. I'm gonna catch y'all next time. Y'all support the house. If you like the show, hit us up on the Cash App. We got at the top of the screen, cash.app/$ House of Cons. It don't matter if it's $1, $2, all support matters. And we out, y'all. Peace. Now it's going to Africa.